Welcome back to the I Am Praise Network, where the favor of God increases every single day. And today I'm coming to you with a new topic, and it is called the fast car mentality. So this is going to be good. I hope that you are listening wherever you are. To all of my listeners, I want to encourage my lady listeners always, and my other listeners too, because some people confuse peace with boredom. And the reason why I want to talk about this mentality is because hopefully by the end of this video, you will hear something that helps you reposition yourself for the bright future that's ahead of you, because your future is so bright. It is so super bright. So let's talk about it. So the fast car mentality, it basically is a mentality that I came up with, and I'm pretty sure it's not something that it's probably something that's not old, but as soon as I start talking about it, you'll understand. The fast car represents people who constantly chase the next thrill without thinking about sustainability. The fast car represents fast choices, fast decisions, right? Quick money, instant gratification, validation, that adrenaline rush that everything feels amazing at first mentality. One thing about the fast car mentality is that, fast burns fuel. It doesn't mean that we don't want to burn fuel, right? Because that's what cars, have fuel for. But there's something specific about when you're appreciating the journey and how gas prices are rising, right? So gas prices are rising. So think about that. Okay, I'm appreciating the journey. Gas prices are rising. But if you have the fast car mentality, you might be burning more fuel than others are on the journey. Some people get to the end of the journey and they're just enjoying the journey because they're going at a certain pace in life that is allowing them to make certain stops, and they don't have to, worry about whether when they stop, are they going to be stopping in the middle of nowhere, because of the wisdom that they have. They're stopping at the gas stations that they know before they run out of fuel. And sometimes when you're going fast, you're going so fast, you don't really know when you're going to burn out of fuel. And therefore, you might end up stopping anywhere and having to deal with the consequences of wherever you chose to land. So why is this important? Because, we don't want to be in a space mentally where we constantly need excitement, constantly need attention, constantly stimulation, drama, chaos, and proving. And I am so excited to say that I've exited the fast car mentality. Didn't realize that I had that mentality in certain areas of my life and aspects of some business and aspects of growing. And, I've always considered myself a pretty grounded person, but there are certain moments where I felt like God has shaken me and said, no, take the longer route. No, slow down. Whether he says slow everything down by 5%, or whether he says slow this down, slow that down. The fast car mentality truly began to be seen all over in my peers and myself, in my surroundings, of how it can be very expensive. It can be very costly when you have a fast car mentality, meaning sometimes it can cost you relationships. Sometimes it can cost you so much more because you're not willing to slow down the journey. You're not willing to take your time in that. So, if you think about what happens when you're moving so fast in your car, it can make you miss signs. You ignore red flags, you skip healing, you overlook wisdom, you mistake chemistry for compatibility. And I'm saying this because of how important it is to recognize the signs and to slow down and understand, because sometimes your car can move so fast where you feel like, man, I need something right now. I need something to fix what I'm feeling now. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling this. And you can get into something and think, man, there's chemistry, there. And it's not. There's no chemistry whatsoever. It's just a fast car moment. It's just a thrill of the moment. And when the gas runs out and you start to realize that you wasted, the better parts of this vehicle, and the expense, the repairs are so expensive in this situation. And then it's the same thing with the signs in sustainable relationships, right? You have the fast car mentality there, where it's like you want to hurry up and get to a certain point instead of taking the journey and slowing down. Sometimes you got to go to get the oil change. Sometimes you have to go and get the new tires. Sometimes you can't replace everything all at once. You got to do it piece by piece. But the fast car mentality may say, you know what, this is what we need to do. We need to do it now. And you end up costing more. And sometimes you get all the repairs, but you can't go nowhere because you spent all the money on those repairs, right? So that's still the fast car mentality. The car may be ready to go, but it can't go anywhere because you're even limited in other things, right? So looking at that, slow doesn't mean stuck. Highways have speed limits for a reason. So healthy people don't just rush everything. Slow allows you to discern, build trust, create consistency, protect your peace. Protect your peace. Some people confuse peace with boredom. And this is like a huge point because people addicted to like chaos, and they often think peace is boring. And I'm telling you, it's boring that is the winner. Chicken dinner. Boring. Boring is okay. Healthy relationships can feel like too slow because there's no emotional roller coaster sometimes. A lot of people who have dealt with a lot of traumatic relationships, a lot of traumatic friendships, a lot of traumatic situations, whatever, they think if something is moving slow, that it means that there's no chemistry, that means that there's no growth or something. And that's not really what that means. It's exactly the opposite. There's growth, there's health when things are moving slow. And when we're able to take our time and realize what we want and actualize where we are and be honest with ourselves, then you start to realize that there's peace there, And then speaking, moving ahead, fast cars need more repairs. This is probably like a very strong point here, is because, things pushed beyond their limits, they wear out faster. So the same happens with relationships, businesses, finances, emotions, even our bodies. Like constant acceleration eventually creates these breakdowns that we have to recover from. And it can be quite strenuous and quite costly. It's like you're going to slow down somewhere. Okay. Somewhere, one of these areas, you're going to have to slow down and pick up the pieces somewhere. So we have to be mindful in that. So taking our time is not bad. Taking your time is not, it's not evil. It's not wicked. It's not, oh man, this isn't fun. This is, it's something that creates longevity in relationships, in business, in finances, in emotions, in our bodies, what we're feeling, what we're discerning, what we're trying to say. Take your time, I've learned to value the journey, still continue to learn that. I don't need anything like overnight anymore. I'm realizing I don't need the thrill that fades by morning. I've learned that what lasts is usually built slowly, and I'd rather arrive whole than just arrive fast. I understand what that means, and I'm understanding what that looks like, and I'm understanding you can't rush other people. You can't rush yourself. You can't rush other people. Just because you're arriving whole doesn't mean someone else is, and you have to allow people to go through their process. You can't be trying to tell your friends, come on. We should go do this. We go do this. We go do this. We need to go to Hawaii. We need to go here. They ain't got their passports. They don't have this together. They don't have that together. And you ready to go everywhere. And now you feeling, like what's wrong with them? And really it's because they have to take the time to get those things together. Vice versa. You could be the one without your passport. I actually need to go get my passport. But you could be the one, I could be the one without my passport and certain things. And I could feel like, man, this is so stressful. They keep wanting me to go do all this stuff. And it's just too costly and expensive. I'm not on that level right now. I'm not on that level then. I'm just not on that level. And I have to be okay with that. I can't have fast car mentality and put myself in a situation where when I come back, I'm struggling. When I come back, I'm having issues. No. Everybody isn't looking for the same destination too. That's something I'm noticing too. Some people just want the rush of the ride, but I've reached a place where peace is more attractive than speed. And because speed can impress people, it can impress people, but wisdom helps you arrive, And I think this is something we have to realize with the fast car mentality and dealing with it in our own personal lives, is that we have to walk in wisdom and understand where we are and not get upset with people, not blame them, learn how to release things in peace, learn how to release ourselves in peace, forgive, let go, because we're trying to arrive alive, right? We're trying to arrive whole, okay? We're trying to arrive in peace and in wisdom in every situation that we make. This fast car mentality does not just go with relationships. It goes with friendships. It goes with, it goes with business, finances, emotions. It goes with what we're feeling. I told myself recently something happened in my life personally, and I thought to myself, man, I'd rather take a whole day feeling that thing, crying about it, letting it get all out my system, and then waking up and continue to move forward. loving and not hating and not being bitter and being okay and speaking life. That's how I get through a lot of things. I'll speak life. I pray about it, give it to God, but I will speak life about whoever the person is. Like if somebody is hurting me, or if I feel hurt or abandoned or whatever it is, because you're going to feel these feelings, whether someone's trying to do it purposely or not. I have to go to God and just pray. I have to go to God and just say, okay, God, I love you. I thank you. And I speak life. I don't want to speak death or against any person or anything. I want to leave peaceful. I don't want to have a fast car mentality and take my emotions and wreck it even more spiritually, or wreck it even more mentally. Just release it in peace. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for this. And sometimes I'm crying while I'm saying that, but it's better for me to do that because I understand that there's spiritual warfare that takes place. There's a spiritual realm, and we have to be careful with our words. Fast car mentality works with that too. You don't want to say the wrong thing with fast car mentality and just start speaking negative and against things and situations. We want the very best for those around us. God has a perfect timing, and what he has for you is for you. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about whether it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. Trust God, trust God's timing, and slow down a bit. Okay. That don't mean you got to change the type of car you got. You can ride smooth and look good, but slow it down. Don't have a fast car mentality and wear down your blessing, wear down something God is giving you because you want things to look like a certain thing right now. It's just not wholesome. It's just not something that can really truly stand the test of time when you really think about things. You want it to last, right? So let's get rid of that fast car mentality. Until next time, see you guys soon.